Hey, what's up everyone? Josh Quinones here, and right behind me is the Hisense U8K 4K Mini LED TV. Huge shout out to Hisense for sending this out for us to take a look at here on the channel. I have had tons of requests to take a look at this TV. Well, we finally got it here, and I'm ready to give you all my thoughts. That's exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. The one right behind me right here is the 65-inch model. It's also available at 55 inches and 75 inches. I believe the 55-inch is around $750, and the 65-inch right here behind me is currently going for around $1,050, and then the 75-inch at around $1,500. And if you ask me, honestly, at least for this model right here, definitely worth the $1,050, especially when you compare it to other brands out there on the market kind of offering this same kind of TV right here with the mini LED with the 4K resolution. I mean, you really can't go wrong with this one, to be honest with you guys, right off the bat. But let's go and talk about overall design and build quality of this TV right here. Now, when it comes to just the overall design and build quality of this TV, honestly, it's nothing mind-blowing. It's not like something, that we've never seen before. You get, a TV that looks like a TV. It's got the legs down at the bottom. Honestly, for me personally, I wish it would have had just the one stand down in the middle. That way it's just more compatible with different sized TV stands. When it's got the two legs on the side, you have to make sure you have the right size TV stand or this TV ain't gonna fit, especially if you're not planning on hanging it up on the wall. But I will say, when it does come to the back of the TV, it's got a nice look to the back of it. What I really like about the back is the speakers. It's got side firing speakers on each side of the TV, which makes the overall sound experience just that much better because, the sound's not pushing out towards the wall and back of the TV. It's shooting out the sides and kind of coming around the TV, just making the sound a lot better. The sound actually has a nice crystal sound to it, nice crystal clear sound to it. And then we also have that built-in subwoofer in the back, which adds a good low end to the overall sound. So if you're not someone who wants to go out and spend, extra money on a soundbar, you want to save that money, keep it in your pocket, you're not gonna have to worry with this TV right here. It does sound decent enough to not really need a soundbar if you really don't wanna, go and spend the extra cash, especially with that built-in subwoofer. Now, it's not gonna make the whole house shake, but it does add a good low end to the sound. But overall, great looking back. The TV is pretty slim, not the slimmest TV I've ever seen. It's not one of those picture frame TVs that you put up on the wall and you can't really tell it's a TV, but it is still slim enough to where if you do have it up against the wall, it's not gonna protrude out too much and take up a whole lot of space on your TV stand, or if you do happen to hang it up on the wall. But overall, nice looking TV. Now, other things that we will find in back of this TV are the ports. So we got one USB input, we got a digital audio out, and then an LAN. But next to that are more ports. We have another USB input. We got the HDMI 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we got 4 HDMI inputs, 2 of them at 4K 60 Hertz, and the other 2 at 4K 144 Hertz, and the other one also acts as an EARC. And then we have a cable input, an AV in, and a headphone adapter. And then on the other side of the TV, we have that power input because of course you need to provide some power to this TV in order to get it working. Okay, now I wanna talk about picture quality because that is something that is super important when buying a TV. I mean, you want something that's gonna look good when watching movies, TV shows, YouTube videos, whatever it is, you want it to look good. You want it to look sharp, crystal clear. And I'll be honest with you all, I am no professional or anything like that when it comes to these TVs, so I don't get super into detail. I know what I like and I know what I don't like, and that's exactly what I'm gonna share with you guys here in this video. And I gotta say, for $1,050 for the 65-inch TV right here, I think picture quality actually looks really, really good. I mean, you're getting a sharp, crystal clear picture. The colors really pop, especially if you have it on vivid or standard mode. I mean, these colors can really pop, giving you a nice, vibrant look. Now, there are some people who don't really like that, so they do have other picture modes as well, which will give you more true to life colors. But I think overall picture quality, just to tell you right now, right off the bat, I think it looks great on this TV, whether I'm watching a movie, a TV show, a YouTube video like this one right here. You can see how vibrant the colors are getting right here, right behind me, just in this video playing here in the background. I think picture quality is great, especially when you look at the price. You got to keep the price in mind when looking at TVs because I mean, I would say if this TV was like a $3,000 TV, then I would expect the picture quality to look much better than what it does now. But for $1,050, I mean, honestly, I'm not really complaining here. It actually looks really, really good. Now, like I said, everybody is not going to like the same exact picture mode. Everybody has different likings to how they like their content to look when viewing it on their TV. So we do have different picture modes here. If you look down towards the bottom, I'm bringing up the menu right here. If I go over to picture mode, we have a vivid mode, which is currently what I have it on right now because I really want these colors to pop here in this video. But we also have a standard mode. We got an energy saving mode, a sports mode, which also makes those colors nice and vibrant and actually really looks good when watching sports. We have a theater day, a theater night to give you that theater mode. So as you can see, the TV actually dimmed itself down. So if you happen to watch, you're watching TV at night when it's really dark, it'll kind of dim the display for you so it's not super bright and blinding you, because this display actually gets pretty bright. I mean, it gets more than bright enough, at least for me, in my opinion. Now, it's not the brightest TV I've ever seen, but it does get bright enough, especially if you're in a big bright room. You don't have to worry about, having to squint your eyes or really focus on what you're watching. You're gonna be able to see it just fine. We also have a filmmaker mode, which does, in my opinion, kind of makes the colors look, they have a little bit more of a flat look to it. I don't know, in my opinion, I don't really like using the filmmaker mode after kind of testing it out for a while now. I really like using the theater day, or even just the standard mode looks really good. And then sometimes I'll use vivid depending on what I'm watching. And then we have different sound modes. So I talked a little bit about the sound earlier. The sound is great on this TV. It gets nice and loud, it's crystal clear, and like I said, it's got a nice low end because of that built-in subwoofer in the back. Now, the different sound modes that we have here are standard, of course. We have a theater sound mode, which is the one that I personally like using. We got a sports mode, music mode, speech mode to, enhance those voices. If you don't really like a lot of low end to your, whatever it is you're watching, you want to be able to hear what they're saying more than, the other background sounds. We also have a late night sound mode and an intelligent sound mode. So me, I'm back and forth between intelligent and a theater mode. And the theater mode just, it actually kind of gives you that theater feeling. It gives you that nice rumble when you're watching movies with a lot of action. Gives you a nice low end, which is what I personally like. Like I said earlier, everybody's gonna have their own likes. And they have their own taste in what they want their sound to look like, especially when it comes to the TVs. But as far as just the overall sound, I'm okay with it. Okay, now another area where picture quality actually stands out on this TV, aside from watching movies, TV shows, and YouTube videos, is when gaming. Gaming is actually pretty enjoyable on this TV. I've personally enjoyed the gaming experience on this TV. You can get up to 144 hertz of super smooth gameplay. Of course, once you plug in a PC and do some PC gaming, that's when the 144 hertz will kick in. But if you're using a console like a PS5 or an Xbox, then you'll get up to 120 hertz of smoothness. And I actually made a full dedicated gaming video with this TV right here, which I have linked down in the description below in case you do want to check that out. I really went into detail with that TV. But my overall gaming experience with the Hisense U8K mini LED 4K TV right here has actually been really good, and the games just look great. Super smooth gameplay. I didn't notice any moment of lag or latency. I mean, everything responds really good when gaming on this TV, and it's actually got a dedicated gaming mode, so it will automatically switch in to that gaming mode, and then it gives us actual gaming settings where once you do pull them up at the bottom left, it'll let you know what frames per second you're playing at, if you're on HDR or not, if the variable refresh rate is on or not. We got FPS viewing, you can turn that on or off. You can turn the dark detail on or off. You can change up the picture size. You got the screen position, which you can change up. You got FreeSync, which you can turn on or off. You can change up the brightness here, and you can also turn on or off the high refresh rate mode. So if you're playing, say, like an old school game that doesn't really support, up to 120 hertz of refresh rate, with that high refresh rate mode, if you turn that off, if the game will support it, it'll kind of force it up to a higher refresh rate to just give you a more smoother gameplay. But of course, if you do have games that do support up to 120 hertz refresh rate, then it'll automatically switch into that variable refresh rate to get you that smoother gameplay. And then up at the top left, you can either turn that on or off, the frames per second, so you can view it up at the left to see how many frames per second you're getting while gaming. But overall gaming experience has been great on the Hisense U8K. And speaking of gaming, I gotta give a huge thanks and shout out to the sponsors of this video, Dbrand. Now, for my gaming video, I was using my PS5, which was actually customized with the plates that Dbrand offers to be able to customize your PS5. They got their popular matte black dark plates, which just makes that PS5 look sexy. I mean, it looks sleek, looking really, really good. But if you're not into the whole matte black thing, then they also have a retro series with different colors to choose from, which kind of takes you back to the old school mixed in, you know, with the new school of the PS5. As you can see right here, I have the blue ones, and it just looks really, really cool. Just adding a whole new different look to the PS5. And then if you don't have a PS5, you have an Xbox, you can also customize your Xbox with a tons of different skins that they have to choose from, just giving your Xbox a much cooler look. Or if you have a Nintendo Switch, you can buy skins for that too, and just make it look so much cooler and just customize it how you want. So Dbrand definitely has a lot of stuff to choose from, not just for smartphones, but for gaming consoles as well. So you can just add a whole new cooler look to your gaming setup. If you're interested in customizing your PS5, Xbox, or even your Nintendo Switch, I have links for everything down in the description below so you can check them out for yourself. Huge thanks to Dbrand for sponsoring this video. Now, I did forget to mention that this also supports HDR content as well. And when you are watching that HDR content, it'll give you different picture mode settings. So we got HDR Vivid, HDR Standard, HDR Energy Saving, HDR Sport, HDR Theater, and the Filmmaker mode, and then in IMAX mode, which it doesn't give us when watching other content. So when you're watching HDR content, then you will have that option for IMAX mode or any of these other modes that you see here, just with that added HDR. And not only that, but if you do happen to be watching something that does support Dolby Vision, then you have options like Dolby Vision IQ, Dolby Vision Dark, and then Dolby Vision Custom. Me personally, I do like using the Dolby Vision IQ. It just has more of a brighter, kind of more vibrant look to it. But then of course, if you're watching TV at night, which is something that does support Dolby Vision, then you have the option for Dolby Vision Dark, and then again, Dolby Vision Custom. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and just do a quick walkthrough here of the TV itself. Now this is a Google TV, and if you've ever used a Google TV before, then this will look very familiar to you. So of course, we are greeted with the whole Google UI. We have our For You page, and right now it's recommending to watch Prime Video, and then we have our top picks for us, you know, depending on who we follow on YouTube or certain shows we like watching. We have our apps, of course, right here. We have a continue watching section. We got what do you feel like watching, which, you know, you have a selection of movies, shows, family, Espanol, popular movies and shows right now, comedies, crime shows. I mean, the list just goes on and on. And I gotta say, the UI is actually very, very smooth. I mean, look at this. This is smooth scrolling right here, no latency, no lag or anything like that. So as far as overall smoothness, very smooth. And then we have our live page right here. So we get free live TV. We get a whole TV guide to let us know what is currently playing and what's going to be playing later. Tons of TV channels, as you can see right there. Let me go back up to the top here. We have different apps. So it's going to show us our apps, and then we can also search for apps and games. Now this does have the ability to use the Google Assistant as well. And on the remote itself, there is a microphone button there to be able to use the remote to talk to the Google Assistant as well, which we will talk about a little bit later. But continuing on here in the apps section, we got an app category, entertainment, music and audio, video players and editors, tools, lifestyle, sports, news and magazines, productivity, education, health and fitness, communication, and business. Woo, that was a mouthful, but yes, tons of app categories. As you can see there, we got featured apps, learn something new, listen to music you love, tons of apps to choose from on this TV right here, because of course, you know, this is Google. We got a library. If I go over, we have our search bar right here, search for movies, shows, apps, and more. It lets us know what we can try saying. Let's find something to watch. If I go over again to the settings, we got the actual settings up there at the top, which I'm not gonna click just yet because we can also pick inputs, whatever input we wanna switch to. We got our screensavers. We got our pictures, which if you click on that, it'll take you to the picture settings, which we will go over that in a bit as well. Then you can change up the Wi-Fi, accessibility, set your power on, preferences, personal ads update, or you can clear all. And then if we go over it, we actually have our Google account. So now going into the actual TV settings here, you can set your device name, you got your channel and inputs, If I click on that, you can go to channels, inputs. I mean, it's pretty much self-explanatory. We got our display and sound settings. So we have our picture settings here. You got your general picture settings. You can change up the picture modes that we saw earlier. We have apply picture settings. You got an intelligent scene, which you can turn on or off. It analyzes the current scene and automatically optimizes the picture quality. I kind of just have that turned off. We got an automatic light sensor. You can automatically adjust screen brightness based on ambient light conditions, and then content type auto detection. You can also change up the brightness. I got mine all the way up right now. I love having my TV nice and bright. The local dimming, I got that on high as well. And then you have your contrast settings, black level, dark detail. Enhance the dark details by analyzing the luminance level and making automatic adjustments in real time. You can turn that off or on. You got your gamma, active contrast, dynamic tone mapping, HDMI dynamic range, low blue light going down. You can change up your color settings, clarity, calibration settings, and then you can reset as well. Then you also have your screen settings. You can change up the picture size. You can turn on overscan, and then we have our sound settings, which I showed you the sound settings earlier: standard, theater, sports, music, speech, late night, and intelligent. You can turn Dolby Atmos on or off. And yes, this TV does support Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. Like I said, picture quality, great. Sound quality, great. I do got that subwoofer turned on, and I do have the bass boost turned on as well. So that is a really nice setting on here that you can be able to do, is turn up that bass if you really want to feel that low end, depending on what you're watching. They have a wall mount set up. Of course, I do not have mine set up on a wall. Auto acoustic tuning, and then you have your advanced settings: balance, volume level, auto volume control, lip sync, and then your equalizer. And if I go back, you got your audio output, and then you have your game settings as well. As you can see, contrast, black level, instant game response, FreeSync, and then your high refresh rate mode when you are on a game. And then the rest is just network, internet, accounts and sign in, privacy, apps, your system settings, remotes and accessories, and then your help and feedback. And yeah, those are all the settings on this TV right here. Definitely tons to go through. Okay, now just taking a quick look at the remote here. I mean, it's just your regular standard plastic remote, nothing too fancy here, very lightweight. So it's nice when the remotes are nice and light like this, not too heavy. Of course, we got the power button, we got the input button. There is the microphone button to bring up that Google Assistant. You got an accounts button, settings. Of course, you have your pad to go up, down, left, right, and then your selection button that says OK. You got your back button, cable, home button, volume buttons, channel buttons. You can mute whatever it is you're watching. You got your menu button that automatically pulls up that menu bar down at the bottom. Play, pause, 1, 2, 3. You got dedicated Netflix button, a dedicated YouTube button, dedicated Prime Video button, dedicated Disney Plus button, dedicated apps, and dedicated Tubi button. So lots of dedicated buttons down here, which is nice, especially if you're someone who uses Netflix, YouTube, Prime Video, and Disney Plus. So I feel like those are 4 of the norms that just everybody has. And then of course you got some Hisense branding down there at the bottom. But like I said, nothing too crazy fancy here, just, you know, your average plastic remote. So there you have it, the Hisense U8K 4K mini LED TV. Now, just because in the name it says U8K, this is not an 8K TV. That's just the model name of the TV. This is actually a 4K TV, ULED mini LED TV. And when I say ULED, it's actually a QLED TV. So I just had to throw that out there. But when it just comes to my overall thoughts based off of my own personal experience, I mean, I think this TV is great. Picture quality is great. Sound quality, great, especially with that built-in subwoofer. When it comes to the overall just build and design, not the nicest TV I've ever seen, but it's still nice. It's still a nice TV. My gaming experience has been great as well. Like I said, I don't really have too many complaints, but y'all let me know what you think down in the comment sections below. If you do find yourself interested in this TV right here, I'll make sure to have a link down in the description below. Thank you so very much for watching. If you did like this video and find it helpful, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any other future videos to come in the near future. I might be comparing this to the TCL QM8. I've also had a lot of requests to do that comparison. So I don't know, you guys might have a video coming with that. But thanks again for watching. This is Josh Quinones. I will see you on the next one. Peace out.